All right, guys, we got another beard advice series video, so stay tuned. Hey guys, Brian Haywood here. Welcome back to my Beards and Banjos YouTube channel where we discuss tips and tricks for your beards. We do some product reviews, some unboxings. Occasionally I might play a banjo tune, but I've only done 2 of those so far. I don't want to scare anybody away. But I also have what I consider my signature series, and that is a beard advice series where you guys can send in a couple of pictures to the email address below. Give me a little information about what kind of advice you're looking for. I take a look at that for a few weeks, and then you get featured in your own beard advice series video like we're doing today. I think we're up to episode 11. Got 5 or 6 more guys waiting in the wings patiently. Thank you. But today we've got Doug. Doug also goes by the Bearded Outdoorsman, both on YouTube and on Instagram. He does product reviews. He does some beard things, but he also reviews some outdoor equipment like camping and hiking kind of equipment and hammocks and all that kind of stuff. So if you're into the outdoors, outdoor camping life, that kind of thing, hiking, make sure you check out Doug's videos, all right? Bearded Outdoorsman. But if you take a look, he's got that big, glorious, curly, dense beard. And he's had that for a while, and just by kind of chatting with him and reading his emails and stuff, I think he's looking for just a little bit of a change. I think he's gotten aggravated with the curly part, but I think I can do some stuff to help him. So it's going to give you different advice than what we gave Chris in the last video, who was wanting to grow longer. I told him not to trim up the sideburns or any of that kind of stuff. Just let it go till you get to your maximum length. But so Doug actually made a video on YouTube about he quit trying to straighten it with a hair dryer in the morning, just quit trying to fight it, and he wanted just to embrace what he had. I do always highly recommend that, because we only have what we have, guys. So you want to make sure you embrace that as best you can. But that being said, there are some things I think we can do to kind of alleviate some of the curliness through here. One of them is make sure you've got a great routine. Doug said that he is using the oil, butters at night, and oil and balm and stuff during the day, which is great. He said he washes using pine tar soap and I think Cremo beard wash, and he does that 2 to 3 times a week. For me, I only wash my beard once a week because you kind of strip everything out. A lot of times some guys kind of, I've seen this in videos where they think the whole thing's a big scheme from the beauty industry, right? You just take all the natural oils out just to put more stuff back into it. So if you've got a job or you're in the outdoors and you are getting sweaty and gritty and all that kind of stuff, then yes, please do wash your beard. But if you can get away with it, I would maybe cut that down to 1 to 2 times a week if that's possible. And then I asked him about co-washing, and he said he doesn't co-wash. He's just ordered some from Fable Beard Company. So I think you're going to like that co-wash thing. Guys, if you don't co-wash, you need to. It is a game changer. I used to could not get a comb through my beard. You know, those lovely Kent combs. I couldn't get a comb through my beard until I started co-washing. I use the Luxurious Bastard Coconut Breeze Conditioning Beard Wash or something. I think Conditioning Co-Wash. I use that one a lot. Sometimes he's hard to catch. There's also, I would recommend, and I haven't actually used it, but many people said they use it, and that is the Honest Ape. But you've already got one coming, so see how that one works for you. Honest Ape has got a more economical one in that it's 12 ounces. I think it's like $19.99 for 12 ounces, so that one would last you quite a while. So make sure you are co-washing. I'd co-wash every day there for a long time. Now on the day where I don't get too sweaty or anything, I'll just rinse my beard out in the morning in the shower 1 to 2 days a week, which is working for me. But that co-wash, you're going to love it. All right, so I think maybe by doing the co-wash and this other thing I'm going to recommend for you, which is doing some hedge trimming. When you've got a really dense curly beard, you can get this kind of flat front to your beard, but you've got to cut it in. All right, so that's actually one of the benefits of having a curly beard is you can cut whatever shape you want. You want your jawline to be nice and square, you do that. All right, so if you take a look at Doug's picture there, he's a little bit out of the box, right? If you think about going straight down from your widest point here, going straight down, he's a little bit on the outside of that. So just for me, I would think a nice 1/2 inch trim all the way over your whole beard would work very well for you. But that's kind of hard to do by yourself, especially when you get to the front. But you've got to be really careful with it, and you have to listen to what's going on. You can take a look at some of my videos where I use the Brio Beardscape. I highly recommend that one. You put on a guard, you put on something like a 6 guard or something like that, and you kind of have it turned upside down, and you can hear it as you go through. Click, 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 click. You can hear it as it's trimming the hair. So try to go straight down with it, and I would start with that. Take everything very easy. You don't have to take off way too much at one time. So you can just kind of just hear it ticking, tick, 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 taking off some of those hairs. And you can even just go with that for a day or two and see how you like it. And you can bring it in a little bit more later on. What works for me, and you'll see this on a lot of the videos of the barbershops, they do actually blow dry the hair straight on guys with really curly beards, and that is because if they don't, all the stuff in here when they comb the beard out when they get home, the hairs would come flying out and it would still be this long. So you kind of want to make sure you get the bottom of it even. So they do kind of blow dry everything out, and then do the hedge trimming that I mentioned. And then at the bottom, I think you could go kind of what you've got here. So just kind of take a 1/2 inch off, and I wouldn't go exactly square, just slightly rounded on that. And then if you want to experiment more and come in tighter, you could go with a little bit more rounder look. But I think something like what I have here, I've seen tons of guys' pictures that have kind of that shape to it. So I'll show you some of them right here. So you've got a few of them. Probably here's the kind of the tightest I would say you wouldn't want to consider unless you just want to go really, really short. But you can see what happens as you get the stuff here on the sides shorter, then that kind of gets the focus, brings everything in. The focus becomes the goatee area, and then you let it grow back if you want after that. But I think just kind of getting everything squared up and slightly rounded at the bottom, kind of squared off and rounded towards the end of your square. Your rectangle would work very well. And if you take a look at this guy's picture, that's exactly what he's got. It's not over. You can tell he hasn't straightened his beard out tons. It's kind of still a natural looking beard, but it basically comes straight down from the widest point instead of going out. So I think that's going to be the best look for you. For your cheek line looks really good. I would suggest just extending that cheek line to the top of your ear and taking off that little bit of hair right there. So just have your beard go straight to a point, and then that's going to make it easier to maintain and look a little bit better on a day-to-day basis. And let's talk about his hair on there. I asked Doug about his hair, and he said, yeah, I just kind of buzz it myself because it's a whole lot easier. And I asked him why he does that. I've never really found a hairstyle that I liked, but if you can tell, he's got good hair growth. And I don't have a hair growth anymore, so I kind of missed out. I myself kept the same little schoolboy side part from when I was in high school all the way until my hair fell out. So in one way, I kind of regret not experimenting more around with that. But the guy in this picture, he's got what's called an undercut. All right, and I do think that might work for you. The first thing you could do is like take a line here and then just kind of let the hair grow on the top and just kind of buzz up to that line. And if you want to, or you could just kind of fade it to start with. You could probably want to get that professionally done. It's hard to fade hair from 0 and leave it at the top like you've got it around a 2 maybe. So if you've got a 0 here and a 2 on the top, you're going to have some contrast. You're going to be able to see what you're going to look like with some hair. And if you want to keep growing or keep it like that, that's great. If you want to grow it out a little bit longer, I would suggest that undercut where you kind of put a line all the way around here and then you just let it grow. And you may think that's going to be really weird, and it will be for you because you're not used to having any hair up there for a while, I don't think. But it's actually easy to maintain because you just let it grow. If you're one to like wearing a hat, I figure you probably are, you're an outdoorsman. Basically all you do is you just push it straight back and stick that hat on, you go with it. So it's real easy to maintain. Also at home, you wouldn't have to buzz your head as much, but all you're doing is kind of buzzing up to that line. I think you could go more days in between having to do that. Okay. And then it's really easy to look, when you're ready to go out on the town, you just slick that back. You get your beard all nice and straightened up and neat. and you're ready to go out on the town or go to a wedding or whatever you need to. So it can look really, really refined and with that undercut, slick back look, or it can look kind of really manly, ruggedly too. So you'll see that in some of these pictures. I tried to pick pictures where the guys had the beard, the same kind of coloration and texture that you got. I think these guys look great with the undercut. Something to consider at least. But the main recommendation there for me would be to kind of take in those sides and have it come straight down, get it rounded off, being very careful with that, using that co-wash. Once you use the co-wash for a few days, once you get this taken in a little bit, you may want to go back and try the hair dryer again, because that co-wash is going to kind of be a game changer for you. Get that hair dryer with the cold shot on it to lock in everything, put on your balm, and you can get more of a slick look here without having to do quite so much work and fighting it all the time. So hopefully a little food for thought for Doug and a little food for thought for the rest of you guys. So tell me in the comments, especially the guys with the dense curly beards, how do you attack that? Do you just let it go? Do you do some tapering and hedge trimming? I think too many guys are afraid to do that hedge trimming thing. And once again, it's all about your goals. If you're in a growing phase, you don't want to do as much hedge trimming, if you will, because you want every hair to count and you want to see what it looks like when you get everything to the bottom, and then you can figure out if you need to bring it in or not. But anyway, let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.